The case functionality and the logic that it introduces into our programmability in T-SQL is extremely powerful, and there's a couple of ways to use it. And so in this two-part video, I'm going to first show you a very simple case statement. Then in the second part, I want to show you something very interesting that you can use to add a lot of power, especially to providing data for reports. So let's start off. And by the way, on all of these examples, whether we're talking about output parameters, input parameters, case logic, handling errors, all of the code that you see here, plus some extras, are out there in your working files folder. So don't forget to go look for those. Let's start off to use the case, and let's just look at the table that we're going to use. We're going to use the sales order header table. And I'm getting squigglies because I haven't pointed to my AdventureWorks table yet, my AdventureWorks database. And so I'll highlight this and select it. This is what we're going to use. And this is the table we're going to pull from, and we're going to concentrate on a case statement that returns this total due. Ooh, let's go right here. We want to generate some data based on this value in total due. And so let's come down here, and I'll Control R and make that go away. And let's start. We're going to select the sales order number, the customer ID number, and total due. And then we're going to insert a case on total due. And I want you to notice what we're going to do. We're going to say when total due is less than 2,500, then we want to output the word low. And I'll put it all caps so that we can see it pretty easily. Then the next line down, notice no comma. When total due is greater than 2,500 and, let me put that in all caps, total due is less than 10,000, then we want to put AVG. That's an average size customer. I guess that's what we're saying here. We're trying to categorize our customers. One more, when total due is greater than 10,000, then we want to return high and put out there. Then we're going to end our case statement, and we're going to alias the column as customer rating or customer type, whatever. Then we're going to close it out with from sales.salesOrderHeader. Now, when you notice what happens when we run this, if I haven't fat fingered anything, you're going to notice that it is looking at all of these, but it is looking at total due. And notice, let me pull this down just a bit so that we can see it. And then I want to scroll this up. Since this one was over 10,000, it generated high. Since this one was below 2,500, it generated low, and you can see how these have done. Now we've now categorized all of our customers as average, low, or high. This could give our salesmen, different ways of dealing with these customers, different expectations. We could determine how much time we want to spend on these customers and that sort of thing. Some are prospects like low, high, are customers we want to take care of and give a lot of attention to. So that's a simple case statement. And there's a lot of different ways to write these, so go out and look at the documentation. But this is a good basic structure right here, and you can just do all kinds of things with these things. Now, what I want to start now is a little different way of carrying this out. And we're going to use the sales order header table again, but I'm going to show you how to do like an inline column case statement. And this is very powerful for reports, and we'll get this started and we'll have to finish it in part 2. But what I want to do is, again, let's go out and take a look at the sales order header table. And let's think about what's going on here. We're getting orders in various months of the year. And notice this is in 2005, and it goes up to 2007, and there's some 2008s in there. What would be interesting to see is if we were to look across here at the various levels, if we were to go over here and look at the total due, it'd be interesting to know what's our total orders by month for that year. And so we want to go check that. We want to know how many orders came in that month and what's the total. And we want to see it in columnar type form, the way a lot of times we have to generate this stuff for reports. So the first thing we're going to do is change the way we write our select statement, and we're going to use some other tricks. But I'm going to stop right here. This will be the end of part 1. Join me in part 2, and we'll build this special case statement.